Real Honesty with Jonn Ritland and
The Terminator.
Raw Charlotte sucked.
Yeah.
This is going to be a very long review.
It was aggravating to watch because there was so much wrong in this show.
Which we're going to get to.
Yeah.
One positive. It's not bad. Recaps of Reigns' speech. Beat cancer. Beat leukemia. You know anybody going through cancer treatment, whatever stage, support them. Do what you can to be there. So you really can do. They are the ones fighting. But if they get people's help and people's love,
Yeah.
that could do it. I know it sounds sappy, but it's true. Seriously, Roman. Then Corbin got the cheap heat by having the Universal title, and
then also using Roman's diagnosis to his advantage.
Which, that's uncreative.
Yeah.
And it was bad.
It was in severely poor taste.
Yeah. And that's not on Corbin. He was just doing what he was told. Though he does speak flatly. Really flatly. And I know something about speaking flatly. That was just bad.
Yeah.
Then you had Bork and the Heyman and Braun come out and had a scuffle. Corbin got slammed a few times, and then Bork hit the F5. Braun needs to win. He absolutely needs to win the title. They give it back to Bork. That title is dead. They might as well scrap it.
Yeah.
Really. Because if Braun wins it, then he can face the WWE too. Braun versus AJ.
I'm pretty sure Braun's going to win that because they are building up a feud between him and Drew.
They are.
And it would only make sense for Braun to win the Universal title so that they can build that properly.
True. But this is... Right. But this also is WWE where they're stupid.
Yeah, and bad at everything. I know.
And which this show proved that. Balor and Lashley, it ended in a DQ after Leo put... First, I hope Finn's okay. This is not on Leo, but Finn landed badly.
Yeah.
And Leo, this actually makes me... This pairing makes me want to flay my skin off with a rusty potato peeler. I actually loathe this so much because Lashley deserves better and can actually cut promos if you don't script it.
Sure.
And I'm not saying that Leo is useless because he's great in the ring, but he's a fucking gnat that deserves to be squashed. They have destroyed Lashley's credibility in a mere number of months. You didn't have to rebuild a guy if you built him properly the first time.
The thing is, I've said this many times, Smarks respect talent.
Yeah.
So, let me finish.
Sorry. I didn't mean to.
So when Smarks respect talent, it doesn't matter how bad a guy he is. They're going to cheer him.
True.
How do you get everyone to hate someone? You annoy them.
How do you get people to tune out and stop caring?
You make gender champion.
That too. Or Carmella champion. I get what you're saying, and I'm not saying you're wrong, but if this does not end with Lashley absolutely eviscerating Leo.
It is.
It needs to end sooner. If it doesn't end by the Rumble, if he doesn't eviscerate Leo the night after the Rumble, I may actually check out till Mania. And I may even check out by then. This is just bad. This is so fucking bad. It's infuriating what they're doing to Lashley.
Yeah.
Because he's worth more than this.
Yeah.
Ronda versus Becky at Survivor Series. That gets a big old thumbs up. That's going to be great until the Bellas interfere, and then hopefully the Bellas are attacked by the fans. Chased back to the house where they should be. Then, oh god. 10-woman tag, Lita, Trish, Natty, Sasha, Bayley, Mickey...
This thing.
Versus Mickey, Alicia, and the Riot Squad. Go ahead.
1. The Riot Squad lost again. They lost again. I should go back and see how many matches they have actually won since they debuted a year ago.
As a faction or individuals?
I believe they debuted as a faction.
Okay.
What was it?
November 21st.
Yeah.
The night after Survivor Series.
It's been almost a year, hasn't it? How many matches have they won?
It's not a high number.
Exactly.
Especially meaningful ones.
So, what are you doing with the Riot Squad? Are they a stable? Are they a jobber force? If you've relegated them to just jobbers, then stop taking them seriously. Another thing. Why are we having a 10-woman tag match? Why could we not have an additional women's match? Have Trish Stratus versus Mickie James. Sasha and Bayley versus the Riot Squad. And maybe have the Riot Squad win. For once. It's absolutely absurd that after such a great pay-per-view, you still pull this shit.
It slaps them in the face, especially that they're going to WWE's going to Crown Jewel and the women can't go.
Yeah.
And that is infuriating. You summed it up perfectly, man. I mean, it's like they need to book the women better.
Yeah. The Riot Squad are so much more than jobbers. And if you don't get that, you need to get out of the business.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better. Shut up about the Attitude Era, by the way, announcers. Because the Attitude Era is dead and buried. I love Trish and Lita, but they should not be in the ring anymore.
Yeah.
One time at Evolution, after the Rumble appearance, I get it. Okay, but just, no. This doesn't, no. I don't need to see this. There's nothing against them.
No.
But it's taking up spots from the current roster. And then Nia Ember promo, and we're going to get that match a little later. She doesn't have a leg to stand on. Apparently Ember is Kamala, according to Renee. And then Elias had a promo where he went backstage to find Baron Corbin.
Yes.
And kept playing this.
But there was a little funny bit with Dana Brooke where she looks at Elias and goes, "Could you do a song for me?" Elias responds with, "For you? No."
Poor Dana. But it's great for Elias. And then he plays a song for Corbin, talking about how Angle is better than Corbin, which goes without saying.
Yeah, and was about to call him Stephanie McMahon's bitch before he got too pissed off.
And was running him down, and but then,
But then who runs him down but Jinder running down the Mahal?
Yes. He ran down the Mahal to attack the Elias.
He is the Mahal monitor.
They were going to call him that.
I know.
Good God. And then, Corbin ends up saying, by the way, your match is next. We get Elias versus Jinder. And even though the things interfere, Elias ends up...
He comes out on top.
He does. And that Jinder, by the way, former WWE champion.
That is going to go play on his guitar for a very long time. I believe they call that a fender bender. Oh, thank you.
Bravo. The crowd was chanting about Jinder. He's on steroids. I'm not saying that Jinder's the only one, but he's the one that's most obvious. And, yeah, that was just bad. Crown Jewel World Cup stuff.
Yep.
I will have a rant about Crown Jewel, by the way, because I will be watching. You will not. You will be at work. Gable and Rude versus the Ascension versus AOP.
Versus the Ascension. And again.
Again. Gable and Rude won, by the way, by pinning one of the Ascension. I forget which one. I don't care. And I have nothing against these teams.
And then went and hit the one half of Key Up.
Yes.
And Bobby Roode.
And with the Super Colonic.
Yes.
Yeah, so the Ascension got pinned, so they're out of this. I guess we're going to get maybe Gable and Rude versus AOP. Even though Gable and Rude won clean. Whatever. Seth and Dean had a nice little segment where Seth kept trying to get an answer out of Dean by cutting him off repeatedly.
Correct.
And repeatedly. And Dean's just like...
Okay, I guess I'll just leave then.
He sounded like that. That'd be kind of cool if Dean sounded like it. If they can stretch this to Mania, they're going to have a great... It's going to be a bloodbath.
Yep.
Too bad they can't have blood. Without it being the hard way. Or a blood capsule. Remember when they did that? Leading up to Reigns and Triple H? And that's not against Reigns. It was just a terrible idea to do that.
Yeah.
But this Seth and Dean segment was fun.
Yeah.
More Crown Jewel hype. And then a Lashley Leo promo. And Lashley's going to be in the World Cup because John Cena is not going to be there because he didn't qualify. Mm-hmm. And we can see Lashley. We can't see Cena. Except Nakamura can. The Nakamura Russian goggles. Careful when you Google Russian goggles. Nia versus Ember.
Mm-hmm.
And Ember is about to have the win. And then Tamina's music hits. Because Tamina got tossed out of the Rumble.
Yes, by Ember Moon.
Battle Royal, I mean. Yes. And then...
We get what you is.
Glad you do, because I sure as fuck don't. Yeah, Ember ends up taking a leg drop. From Nia, confirming Hulk Hogan's return at Crown Jewel.
Appropriate.
It is, especially since...
The worst possible Hall of Famer
besides
that
Trump.
wrestles.
True. Besides Trump.
At the worst possible place for a pay-per-view.
By the way, to the good people in Saudi Arabia, I'm sorry, but your government's shit. I'm not saying our government's any better. But yeah, Ember... As long as this ends with Ember coming out on top, enough out of you. Then this will be worth it. And then we get the Revival gain a jobber entrance. And versus Team Do a Good Lucha Thing. Their debut as a faction on Raw. The Revival jobbed out. No TV entrance and jobbed out. Now, I'm not saying... Why does Vince hate the Revival?
Because they're Southern. Because they called themselves professional wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
And because they're Jim Cornette's favorite tag team.
This is true.
It's active.
Well, and also, Kevin Dunn hates Jim Cornette because, Cornette called him the Bucky Beavertooth motherfucker that he is. But yeah, Team Do a Good Lucha Thing won. It was fine. It was a fine match. But one, they could have tore the house down with about 20 minutes. I forget who tweeted that, but shout out to you.
It wasn't Jeremy?
Jeremy quoted it.
Yeah.
Jeremy A911, he quoted. Check out his Twitter feed.
It should have been all flips versus no flips, but instead it was a squash.
It was, and it was terrible. And then we get some Crown Jewel hype. And then Drew and Dolph with a promo about the World Cup. Dolph versus Apollo. Apollo jobbing again.
Okay. Serious talk, WWE. What the fuck are you doing with Apollo? He is worth so much more than that. And you're wasting him. Send him to SmackDown. He'll put on a fucking classic with AJ Styles. I guarantee it.
Him and Shelton Benjamin would be a great team.
I'd give him a singles run.
Oh no, so would I. I'm just saying that if they slot him
even though he probably wouldn't win against AJ Styles storyline wise, he could put on some absolute fucking great matches if you just give him an opportunity.
And you know what's sad? He was on SmackDown. They didn't do anything with him.
Yeah, I know.
Remember? Well, no. You're right. They switch. They should put him in NXT again. Something. You're right. Apollo is worth way more. Has been since before he got to WWE. When
imagine
he was
if he just went to New Japan.
I imagine when a lot of talents go to New Japan. But yes, Apollo would be dynamite in New Japan. But he could be dynamite in WWE. But he'll have to turn white for Vince to push him.
Right.
And for Orton to not hate him, because Orton hates black people. And then Taker and Kane and DX, and it was a travesty. I don't care. I don't want to see these old guys wrestle anymore, and I love 3 out of these 4 guys. Triple H, the wrestler, never cared for. This is trash. I don't care about this match. I don't care. I don't
care about Crown Jewel in general.
I'm going to watch it because I review everything.
Yeah, so you tune into the review if you want to know what happened without paying WWE to see it.
I could tell you everything. Spoiler alert, it'll be a lot of propaganda bullshit for a progressive country where you need to bring your bone saw to the consulate. Anyway...
We're cooking turkey.
You ever been around a Turkish prison? So anyway... D. And
it gets the D.
And
if you disagree, I've got 2 words for you.
Yep.
Paul. Great.
Yeah, that works too. But yeah, agree, disagree with what we said. Like, share, comment, subscribe, Twitter handles, thumbnail at the end of that video.
Yeah.
This video. Memory loss with Ritland. You know what?
And the Terminator.
Yeah, I hope the blood money's worth it.
And you have a good night.